We really haven't been speaking, bitch. You got an issue with me?
Okay, so what caused an issue for us to take a break?
So we had a good night. We was out vibing how
Was
we
it
vibe.
really a good night though?
I got fucked up and I blacked out, got into it with one of our mutual friends. Things went left. Things really went left. You know, it came a point when it was time to leave. You tried to break me and that mutual friend up from getting into it. And I hopped in my car, you hopped in your car. We pulled off. But I'm so drunk, I stopped my car and I never fully pulled off, but you did. Then the aftermath was, did this bitch leave me while I was belligerently drunk?
When we weren't talking, I seen you make a status like, even though I get drunk, I still do X, Y, and Z. And then, you know, it's a lot of people under that status like, who gives a fuck? Like, you on your shit, fuck what they gotta say, period. But also the drinking has become a little too much. And if you love her and you care about her, you should be telling her the drinking has become too much.
One of my good friends said, you are drunk, you're a functioning alcoholic. And then it's just so hard to get people to understand why. You've always been in my corner. And that's a lot of things people don't know and people don't get to see on the outside. I'm like, this girl has really helped me from not crashing out.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving, man. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, more importantly, you see the clip. Get this book on Amazon, folks. Dope book. We got to talk about friendship in the sense of some of y'all friends are bad friends because y'all use y'all friends to not crash out. And y'all don't realize the stress y'all don't realize or y'all don't care about the stress y'all put on your friends. So some of you finally grown and you can do whatever you want to do. And because you want to do, you can do whatever you want to do. You kind of out here with a death wish. But you got friends, and you know your friends got your back. You know your friends care about you. You know your friends wouldn't let you wouldn't put you in a bad position. But here's the issue: you'll put your friends in a bad position. You know, it's not a diss to the lady. I'm just using this as a reference. Um, like she was talking about the drinking and being belligerent and getting into it. That's a problem. You got the friends that get high. That's a problem. You got the friends that just get into fights everywhere they go. That's a problem. You got the friends who are reckless, you know, and that's a problem. And what you don't want to hear is what I'm about to say. Your friend that doesn't want you to harm yourself shouldn't have to babysit you. And you shouldn't have to plan your evenings when you with your friend. You can go, oh, I'm going to really just cut up now because they coming and I know they could just be the responsible one while I act like I ain't got no sense. And I might just wind up putting myself in a position where I get all of us killed. And it's like, oh, you don't care. You really don't care. And people don't want to hear that, but that's the reality of it. So, and I'm going to tell some stories. Some of these I might have told before, but y'all ain't watched the video, so who cares? You know, I have friends who were would get into it. Like every time we went out, they just had to get into it. I don't know what this was, but it's like a ego contest. And one night, you know, we go out. This is early on, and I see it coming. And he's about to get into it with this guy, and I say, "Hey, don't get into it with that dude." He's like, "What? This he's such and such and such and such." You know, the consummate we bumping each other in the club kind of thing. And I'm like, "No, he ain't come here for no party, man. He came here because he's trying to hurt somebody. Can't you look at this guy? You 6 foot something, 200 pounds. He 5'4", 120 pounds. He got a gun on him. We was in Baton Rouge in college at the time, so I'm like, he got no." And he's like, "Oh, all right." So it calms down, and then later on, either it was that night or the next night, we leave the club. But after that, somebody gets shot at the club, and he's like, "Yo, I'm glad you told me that." But if it had been just let's just get into it, one of us could have got shot. I had another friend when I was young in high school. Uh, he was a gang leader. He's my best friend, and but he would constantly, like, he was one of the people that he was Mr. Steal Your Girl. He would holler at people's girlfriends, and steal their girls and then talk crazy to them. And these other dudes happen to be what? In gangs and other gangsters, right? And he knew that I didn't have a problem getting into it. I wasn't going looking for trouble. I didn't have a reputation of a person looking for trouble. But if we was gonna get into it, I'm gonna be riding, whatever. I wasn't in a gang, nothing like that. But there's a few times where, and he wouldn't tell me what he did. So there's one situation where a guy was outside with a gun. There's another situation where guys are trying to jump us or whatever. And there's another situation where guys, uh, he goes to a party and basically guys are chasing us out of the party while we riding down the street with shotguns because they really about that. And I'm like, this mother. And my uncle had to pick us up, and he could have got my uncle killed. You get what I'm saying? And me, because he wanted to play games. It's not a good friend, right? I got friends that are drunks, and you got to fight with them for their keys, and they get you in the car. They in the car, they driving, they drunk, they doing crazy stuff. Now, and they can kill all y'all, and they wake up in the morning. It's like, no, I ain't hanging out with you, dog. You don't get it. You know, I got friends who you find out have drug problems, right? And it's like, you blaming the actions on the drug, but it's like, no, that's what you do. You can get us all jammed up, but you don't care because I got to get high. You know, I mean, what? I go. I had to tell somebody to throw the weed away because they was going to the airport and they had it on them, and I'm like, yo, throw that stuff in the trash, man. You going through TSA? They're like, oh, I'm hiding in my drawers, and I'm like, you sitting there holding the weed in your hand, and I'm dropping you off at the departures, and it's a cop car right in front of you, and you don't even see it. And he's like, I didn't even see that. Like, yeah, throw it away before you get us all arrested, right? And you know, have female friends who wanted to, constantly put themselves in dangerous situations with guys because it was a thrill, and then, you know, oh, you get robbed, okay, then you get robbed again, okay, then you playing with these guys at their house, and it's fun for you. And I was like, stop that. And then all of a sudden, God takes it from her. It's like, yo, and I say these stories to say it makes you want to step back from your friends because it's like, yo, man, you have no regard for your own life and safety, and you have no regard for mine. And I don't want to see nothing bad happen to you, but if I'm hanging around with you, unfortunately, something bad might happen to me. Like some of y'all, you had the friends that's the reckless driver. Who usually gets hurt in an accident? The person that's not the reckless driver. So it's like, yo, stop doing all this stuff, you know. And a quick story, and I'm gonna get out of here. I was with a friend riding his car. It was the Super Bowl week years ago, and there was some reckless drivers. A guy, these two cars was racing, and basically clipped the car because they racing, trying to exit on the exit ramp. Clip the car. The car flips over. They just ride off in the sunset and continue their race. I'm telling the dude driving, like, slow down, dog. You see this wreck, and he a smoker, so he just. And I'm like, yo, the wreck is like 100 feet in front of us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo. And then he's like, oh, I didn't even see it, but whatever. So now we got to get the people out the car. Um, the other people that were behind the car, their car stopped because the axle, one of the bumpers wrapped around the axle. So we're under the car trying to get the axle out. I mean, the bumper off of the axle so they could drive it. So it's a big mess. And I'm thinking to myself, what kind of people are y'all, man? Y'all got these people killed. And I'm talking about cars flipped over. You get what I'm saying? It's like, this is ridiculous. And when people don't care about stuff like that, is because it ain't them. And unfortunately, you could get somebody killed. Now, speaking of that, I do know somebody who got shot because they wound up randomly seeing somebody from school, and it was like, what's happening? Da 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 da. And the girl's boyfriend was like, you cheating? It was like, no, we went to school together, but I don't believe you. You shot him in the neck. And it's like, whether you know people, you friends with people, you cool people can put you inadvertently in bad spots. And you got to step away from that, because if they have a reckless death wish, it's gonna be you instead of them if you keep hanging out with them. So I'm done. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.